So I'm sitting here and feeling into relationships and how it's paradoxical that I right now see the most significant relationship, the most emotionally attached relationship that is present in a human being's life can be two sides. It can be either or it can be both. Because emotional attachment to another person can be of love, or it can be an attachment of codependency to a certain emotional pattern in our life. So that means that some relationships, some friendships are really hard to let go of, or to evolve in, develop in. And those relationships are the ones that are built upon emotional attachment. And emotional attachment, when they are really hardcore for us human beings, the worst ones are those that cover up our fear. So I just see how crucial it is to human beings to dissolve fear of being alone, fear of being left alone. So the person we meet who can help us cover up that fear is somebody that we immediately attach to, and we have a deep love, and we have an emotional bond, and that bond is unbreakable because we cover up each other's fear of being alone. So there is love, but it's also fear-based. So if you look into that and then try to see the truth that if one of those persons want to release that fear of being alone, what will happen to that relation? Really, what will happen is that it will freak out the person with whom you have that connection with. So if you decide to feel independent, you want to strengthen yourself, you just want to feel not depending on that other person, that you just want the clean relationship without codependency and covering up each other's fear of being alone, then it means that you develop, and you decide to develop into a relationship where you just are in that relation just for love and just for fun, just for the relation, just for the sake of it all. And that is a very independent feeling. Of course, that will trigger ego in you and in your relation. So to decide to have a love-based relationship with the person that you used to be codependent on to cover up your fear of being alone means that you have decided to dissolve the shell around your ego made of pride and shame. Because I feel that in those relations, I feel I'm quite sure we all create those relations where we cover up for each other's lack of independency or lack of perfectness. And that is totally normal, it's a human thing. But to dissolve that, we are really confronted with the fact that we ourselves shame ourselves from not being perfect from the start. And we are so ashamed, and we feel so much pride about this, that we don't want anybody, not even our best friend or lover, even the persons we love, we don't want them to mirror, to see our nakedness, our wound, our vulnerability. Because of course nobody wants to be alone, but we want to feel that we connect and attach with people, not out of covering up, but out of pure desire to share fun and to share life. And we don't want friends, lovers, relationships that are based on an untrue emotion of, ooh, I'm afraid to tell you how I feel. Okay, I try to please, so we don't talk about the things that we don't want to talk about, blah, blah. So actually, I just invite you to risk your relationships and tell truth. Tell how you feel, because the truth is that a true friendship can cease to exist. It can. It really can. So you have to be brave enough to risk that, and to have a period of time in your life where you don't feel that safetiness of having those relationships that cover up your fear of being alone. You have to be proud about yourself and loving about yourself. And then if those friends are ready to forgive themselves and you with consciousness for covering up each other's lack of perfectness, each other's human fear of being alone, and then giving it space to develop into a state of real strength, those relationships, those friendships can be immensely lifted, and you will feel free, and you will have space. And forgiveness is the highest form of personal release I have ever known. Ever.